to the Martin County Community Redevelopment Agency. We will call the meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have some minutes, and are there any comments? Would anyone like to make a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve.
Any comments?
I second.
All in favor? Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, great. Any disclosure of conflicts of interest? No one? We'll move right into public comments. I have one from Julie Priest. I don't know if you want to speak now or later.
Good afternoon, Julie Priest. Normally I represent Rio, but today I'm representing all of Martin County and anything having to do with historic preservation and history. In front of you, you have a little packet that I put together a couple weeks ago when I found out that we are losing our archival department called Martin Digital History because their grants are expiring and there is no funding beyond the end of December. We have, in your packet, you'll see the credentials of Georgian Charnes, who is the supervisor in that department, who has wonderful qualifications. And when we talk about archiving historic documents, photographs, and so forth, they come up usually when someone in a family passes away, and then the relatives have these items and they don't know what to do with them, and so on and so forth. So this gives all these wonderful treasures a place to be digitized for generations to come, well beyond me, because that's what I do now. I am a volunteer historical researcher. So I'm here to ask you if you would consider writing a letter of support to continue the operations of this department, because we are going to hopefully appear, those of us who support this, in July, when the Board of County Commissioners will be looking at their budget. And so I'm here to ask you to consider a letter of support to continue the operations of Martin Digital History completely as they are today. We would be asking Martin County, and my hope is that we will come up with some seed money through donations to help with the $100,000 that is needed for payroll to continue this department. Everything else would be covered. We just have to cover payroll. So that's where we're at. I think it's all explained a little bit in the package to the best of my ability. Again, from what I knew 2 weeks ago, I'm learning more all the time. And there's going to be a meeting, if you notice at the top of the form, June 2nd, 11 a.m. at the Cummings Library. Anyone who is interested in continuing with the digital archiving and wishes to have the operations continue, please come to that meeting, and we're all going to brainstorm together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Julie. It sounds like a worthwhile operation. Any other public comments? We'll move right into our presentations then. The CRA Capital Projects Review.
Good afternoon, Chairman and board members. Susan Corres, Office of Community Development. I will point out a few projects, and as always, please feel free to answer any questions that you might have on anything on the sheet. I'm going to go directly to Rio. Most of those that I don't talk about, as you know, are pretty status quo from our last meeting, which is why I don't go into it. So in Rio, both of our new projects, the CR 707 Streetscape Enhancement and the Property and Civic Center Design projects, both will be having kickoff meetings for all the stakeholders on May 22nd. And it's kind of interesting to note, and I'd just like to say thank you to Jordan for this. We have the same consultant group on both of those projects, which has been a huge cost savings and a real, I'm not going to say struggle, maybe challenge for Jordan to keep those projects separate but tied together at the same time, because there's a lot of survey and underground work and things like that that can be done, community outreach that can be done sort of at the same time. because the projects are so close in one place. So that's been a great cost savings for us on the design and really gives a little more of a holistic approach to the entire CRA area of Rio. So thank you, Jordan, for that. That's kind of exciting. And then the last thing, or second thing, or last thing that I'm going to say about our capital projects is the investment program. We have 12 completed projects, so I think that's pretty amazing. And I would like to give kudos to Jana Cox on that. She's really been operating the program and overseeing everything. And I believe Jana Hope Sound might be in the lead. Yes. Ah, Mr. Chair, you might be happy about that. Anyway, she's going to talk about number 12 a little bit later on in the program. And that's all I have to say about our capital projects, but I'm happy to answer any questions. I knew that. I looked right over in your direction. Did you see me do it?
You know I love you. So it's similar to the palm trees that still have not been trimmed off of A1A. I'm curious about we're still stuck at 30% for the unpaved roads. If we've heard anything,
Joy, do you have any update on that?
it's like it's been ongoing and ongoing, but without progress.
If you do, then please come up. If not, then just say no.
Thank you.
Joy Puerta, Program Manager. Yes, we have sent our actual comments back, so we should be getting the 60% plans in shortly, because I was in discussions with the consultant last week. All right?
Seriously, Jamie?
Real quick on Rio.
Yeah.
It says a stakeholder meeting is scheduled for May 22nd.
Yes.
Is that during the NAC meeting or is that separate?
No, that's separate. I think those meetings will happen in the morning, and when we say stakeholders, we're talking about the consultant and the county operations for the most part.
No public?
So Public Works, that kind of thing. Jordan will update the NAC, but.
that's fine.
But that's a meeting where we kind of get everybody in the same room, so Public Works can give comments, and utilities and all of those things, because we have to coordinate all those folks.
Sounds good, thank you.
Anyone else have any questions for Susan?
Well, actually, I was wondering, didn't Julia ask us if we could, bring up to write the letter of support, and you guys didn't say anything. Nobody said anything.
For Julie?
Yeah. Well, actually, it's for all of us.
Right, but I mean for her comment.
Yeah.
You can all decide to discuss that now or take it up at a future time. I don't know how much everybody knows about it, so I'm not sure if you're
Sounded like
ready to discuss that or not.
individual letters, no?
No, we normally write one letter of support from this, So we really should. I'm a history freak, so you can tell.
We all are.
I'm okay talking about it if you want to talk about it now.
Yeah, might as well get it over with.
I'd be in favor of it. I think it's a great program. Once a document's lost, it's lost forever.
I know. And now if you go, you go just online and you look for something. I'm excited because every time I want to remember something, for Golden Gate Building is there.
Yeah.
And that really helps a lot.
Anybody else have any other thoughts? Yes, Jamie?
No, I thought it was first presented as far as, all the details at this weekend's event in New Monrovia for the First Colored School dedication, and I was glad that she brought it up because I thought it was a good idea, because even everything that you've collected for that would be included on there, and it would never be lost. So I think preserving our history is definitely something we should take seriously.
We were doing a research for Golden Gate Building. We end up in the Cocoa Library, and I found some stuff they belong to here. They are in the Cocoa Library. I never knew they had a mosquito area. Mosquito, where was it? That, I'm still impressed with that thing, No, not treatment. It was a little area, it was called Mosquito, like a city. Here, why we have to go to Cocoa when she can do it here? You see what I mean? And I know Julie, she didn't you go to Miami and look some more? Yeah, it took us a long time,
How do you guys feel? You want to write a letter?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Somebody want to make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we write a letter on support of seeing if the county commission can find funding in their budget for this position.
Sounds good.
Second.
Second. Any comments? All
My
in favor?
question is, who writes the letter?
Is that how it works, Susan?
Okay,
How it works.
okay.
That's why.
I mean, I'm happy to take any volunteers.
Draft form? Maybe Julie can help us out. Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Great. Good idea, Sadia.
Well, thank you. I just felt like we just heard about it, nothing done. Nobody said anything.
Yeah.
And
Good. We'll move on to the next item. It's new business, Office of Community Redevelopment Fiscal Year 2026, tentative operating budget.
Thank you again, Susan Cora's Office of Community Development, and we welcome Shelby Baker. She is with the Office of Management and Budget. Yay. So we're going to submit our fiscal year 2026 tentative operating budget to the Board of County Commissioners in July. That's when those workshops happen. So as you've seen, if you've taken a look at this, we talk a little bit about us, and then we get right into some actual numbers. You have seen, I'm sure, that we're $40,000 higher than we were last year, and that's due to the 6% increase in salaries that was voted in 2023. So that's where that comes in. It's salaries and fringe. The rest of our operating budget remains flat. We have not asked for any more in any of those categories. If you have specific questions, because I'm sure you've also noticed when you look at the budget pages that there are differences in what we had and what we're asking for, and all of those differences are really just to either pay off what we had to make it whole, if you will. So we've borrowed from other lines, or to add or subtract from lines just to, because we kind of know what we'll spend. So it was just basically a reshuffling of the deck, if you know what I mean. And then there is some, Shelby has it all highlighted for you, and she can go through each of those if you have questions.
So what we did was we just reallocated due to actual. So as you can see in communications, data / wireless, we had zero budgeted in this fiscal year, which is 25. So Susan, Jordan, myself, we talked, we're like, let's move around some funds. We didn't increase the budget by any means, but we reshuffled funds to actually be budgeting for the actual, due to our actuals. So there is minor adjustments in those line items.
And it's all kind of spelled out when you look at the bottom. You can see what's been reallocated and from where to where and how much. Everything else stays the same. We're not getting any new staff or anything like that, so.
So that was my question. How many are included in the salaries?
There's 6 of us.
Six. Okay. Thank you.
Any other comments? We need a motion to approve the budget. If somebody wants to make a motion, please do so.
Do we need public?
I'll make a motion to recommend the
Public.
budget.
Second.
We need public comment.
If there is any.
Does anybody have any comments from the public? None? I'm sorry, I heard a motion.
Second.
Rex in a second. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Great, thank you.
It's easy. Thank you.
We are on to old business, the 2025 final legislative report.
So I included in your packet the final report that we received from Sarah Powers. She's our legislative aide. She spends most of the time during that period in Tallahassee getting information for us and talking with our legislators and our other folks up there. So all the news for us is good. Yeah. So what I gave you to look at has all different types of information in it. It's just an update. I thought you might be interested, which is why I included it. But specifically for the CRA, the House Bill 991, that was the really awful one for us, and the Senate Bill 1242, which wasn't quite as bad, both of those have died. So in early May, the Senate bill was indefinitely postponed and withdrawn from consideration, which pretty much equals death. And then in late April, 991 was sort of rolled into another one that they're calling 110. So CSSB 110, and it's named Rural Communities. What they did was they took out everything that had anything to do with the CRA in it. We've been through it line by line. There is nothing. That bill does remain alive, and it probably will till the end of the budget season. So they've extended, as you know, budget till the end of June. So they will remain active doing that, and that bill will be part of that because it does talk about finances for other things. But I think we're good. So that was the best news ever. And I again took a deep dive and for hours looking and looking because I'm like, what am I missing? What am I missing? But I think we're all set. And Frank agreed, and he's more the expert in that than I am. So that was the good news.
Great. Any comments for Susan? All right,
Okay.
moving on. I think we have the investment program project completion.
You're so fancy. This thing?
No, the Google.
Good afternoon. Jana Cox, Office of Community Development. I have a presentation. Is that presenting full screen?
I don't know how do we do that? Resize, maybe?
Oh, sorry, you have to click present twice. I do have the project completion report. It's applicant number 13, but it's our 12th completion of the program. Speaking of history, I went down to Hope Sound to share with MCTV to interview this applicant, and there's loads of history with this property. They were actually the first licensed car rental agency in Martin County, which I did not know. So I look forward to getting that report. They don't have that for me yet. The applicant is located at 11690 Southeast Dixie Highway. Diamond Garage. This explains the program types that we have: property improvement and fence and landscape. This one is property improvement, and they installed new windows and new garage doors. The target areas are our 6 CRAs, and you have to be located in one of these sub-districts. This one is located in Hobe Sound in the Corridor Sub-District. This shows a little bit about the process. Are you a property owner, or do you own a business in the targeted areas? If so, everything is on our website, or you can contact our office, and we will start the process. Applicant 13 presented to the CRA board in November of '24, so hopefully you remember that presentation. Their improvements were completed in April of 2025. Again, it was the property improvement program. What improvements they did, the garage door window, which was involved in an accident, so they replaced the entire window, and you'll see pictures later. And 2 garage doors of historic look and feel, and you'll see pictures of that as well. They actually already got their reimbursement in May, and as this process goes along, it spurs the applicant to do improvements on their own, and they actually are painting both buildings. They got new gravel and landscaping.
Can I just say something really quick? Just to kind of add to that comment, We have another project that's in Golden Gate right on US 1. It's a large, what am I trying to say, strip mall, thank you. And they also, once they received their reimbursement, they put it right back into the property and did all new lighting. So it really does work that way, yeah.
Where was that project?
The Golden
Right.
Gate one?
Yeah.
It's right along A1A Dixie, right across from the barber shop on
Oh, you said
the
US.
Yeah, I said US 1, I'm sorry. Yeah, Dixie.
Dixie.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Got it.
So here you can see what the garage doors looked like before, and I have a nice after picture. The same thing with the window that's located on Bridge Road, right on the corner. The before picture and after, it's fully hurricane-proof, shatter-proof, all that kind of good stuff. The additional work that they did, it's not dumpster, they put gravel in. Landscaping, and he and his wife are painting the building themselves. So it looks really nice. This just shows the vendors and the proposed cost, and the actual costs were spot on. The total improvements, $26,604, and we reimburse up to 80%, which is $20,000. As a bonus, I added the historic light pole that's located on this property. As part of the Hope Sound Historic Society, they are redoing all of the motion picture lights. I'm sure you're familiar with that story in Hope Sound. And one picture is at night, and they just look awesome. It's a solar dome, and so we don't need electricity, and so they actually have a manufacturer that's redoing these lights, and we're going to include those on our Dixie Streetscape project. And that's all I have. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to entertain them.
Anyone?
I do have a question. How's the budget work on that? I've been told that certain areas don't have any money for this kind of program.
So we started in 2022, putting funds away in that particular category, if they were available. So some CRAs have more than others, just
It's a
depending.
line item on the CRA.
Yes, and they were all voted for in the individual NAC, how much they wanted, how much they thought, improvement-wise. And yes, some have money left, and we're looking for new applicants all the time.
So does it get re-upped every year, or it all depends on the CRA?
It depends on the CRA. So we added more to particular ones that didn't have any funding. Hope Sound has plenty of funding, so we didn't add any this year.
That happens during the CIP process, Chuck,
Okay.
where the committees decide if they want to recommend additional dollars for that line item.
And then, of course, it's just in certain districts, right? Core and
Certain sub-districts.
sub-districts.
Certain
That's what I meant to say, yeah.
And I did want to add that Hope Sound has 4, Golden Gate 3, Jensen 3, Rio 1, and Port Salerno 1. So that's kind of the count we have going.
Jamie?
So, Jana, are these mailed to some of the businesses
Yes.
in the area? Because I even tried to stop by and hand deliver, but I never know if the owners are actually getting the material, so.
I have a list, and I'm mailing them to
Because
the.
there's several off of Salerno Road that would really benefit. I did find the gentleman who owns the tin wall that I've been talking about off of Cove Road for a while. I personally handed that one to him, so I was just curious if they were getting them by mail, because I don't know if the owners are receiving them, so, okay.
I have a few possibilities in Port Salerno that I'm.
Oh, good. Thanks.
I was glad to see the light pole with the solar fixture
too.
on it. I have to
It's
check
nice
it out at night.
Actually see one, what
Yeah.
it's going to look like.
It looks
Yeah.
like some of the poles north of there have been refinished. Was that something that was part of
There was
our NAC?
one pole that was refinished, and it's the one that was hit by the taco truck.
Okay,
'Cause we salvaged that one from another property that sold.
okay.
And it's case by case, like the one just north of this property, it's on their property, and they don't want it straightened.
I see.
And
The
so
pri-
hopefully Pat can talk them into at least getting a dome.
Private property? Gotcha.
Some of them are on private property, so they own them
I gotcha. Okay.
from way back.
We'll see where it goes. I know there's some at the Apollo School that I've been told they're
Yes.
trying to work on as well. So
Yes.
maybe they can match the same fixtures.
Yes, hopefully. Yeah, there's a vendor that's making those for the Historic Society.
Or was that the way the fixtures look originally? Do you know the original? Does anybody know the original look of the fixture?
I don't think that's what they look like originally. I do have a picture.
Gotcha.
And I think they were square.
Okay. All right, thanks. Anybody else? Thanks.
Welcome.
So that takes care of pretty much our agenda with the exception of comment section. We do have a public comment section now. If any member of the public would like to speak. Yes, Julie?
Thank you very much. May is Historic Preservation Month, and there are schedules online on the Martin County website, and there are schedules at most of the libraries, and also at the log cabin, and also right outside here in the lobby, you can pick up a schedule. We honored Sadia this past week as Preservationist of the Year, but we have more events to follow, so we hope that everyone will come out to those events and enjoy learning about history. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Any member comments?
Nope.
I guess
Nope.
me.
Just you?
Like Julie said, I was honored this week, and I am really grateful. And humbly, I felt like guilty of getting the award in a way, because what I'm doing, what I did, restoring Golden Gate, is a privilege for me. I think every human being should live where God wants him to be, not hungry, not scared, just peaceful, and more or less comfortable. And that's what I'm trying to do for my community. And the Golden Gate just so happened that building was, harboring a lot of mess. I mean, it was like headquarters for drunks. And ask him, he lives in the neighborhood, if you remember how was that building. I mean, people coming out of it used to really, really bother me when I come down in the morning going to Publix or something and see people just straggling coming out. Now, thanks to the CRA and the helps in my mouth and pushing and insisting, it worked. And I am so grateful and I'm so happy, and I want to thank every one of you who was there. You too, Mike.
I was there. I said hello and everything.
Yeah, he sure did. He came over. Everybody was there. I even got the Moroccan consulate. She came up, and it was really nice that everybody shows up. And again, Miss Susan surprised me. It was a secret between two of us, and she blurted out.
It was my Sadia story. I had to tell
what-
it.
Yeah, but
Tell it.
But you didn't have to. Anyway, so I want to thank you, and I am so grateful. And I'm going on vacation in the morning.
Have a wonderful time.
Well, thanks to Kylie, because she's graduating on Friday, so honestly, I don't like fly to Maui because it's too long. I mean, too many hours, and I'm just that's not my, I wish they come here, but I have to go this time. She's the only granddaughter I have, so,
It'll be good when you get there.
Yes.
yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I don't sleep on the planes.
Read a book.
Yeah. Oh, I take my tablet and I play games. Anyway, that's all I want to say. Thanks to every one of you, and I really appreciate you. And if I ever said something you don't like, just smack me. I mean, or correct me. Whatever. You know me.
That's a big honor, and you ought to be
I'm looking
congratulated.
for that in the minutes next meeting, by the way.
Thank you all, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, well done.
And I saw Frank there, too.
Nice.
Was there.
And of course, Jenna and Joy. I saw every one of you. I wasn't there, but I was there. Yeah.
Very good. Any staff comments?
Yes, actually.
All right.
I have comments.
Let us have it.
So there's been a little change. Let me stand up. There's been a little change in the Office of Community Development coming up that frankly we're not all that happy about. And that is that Naomi has taken another job. So we're really happy for her, because it's great for her, but we're going to miss her.
I'm not happy.
So we have a little something.
I'm mad at you.
Yeah, we're all kind of mad at her.
Oh, my goodness.
So it says, "A heartfelt thank you to Naomi Lopez in recognition of your dedication, service, and meaningful contributions to the Office of Community Development, November 2021 to May 2025." She hung in there, I think. Your work has helped shape stronger communities and made a lasting impact. With sincere appreciation and best wishes for your next chapter. And that's for you, Naomi, to put on your desk, so you won't forget us.
Good job, Susan.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
Who's
you for that.
next?
Thank you
And
for
with
doing
that, I am done.
Well, thanks for that, because we appreciate all that Naomi does.
Yeah.
hard
She's
work.
going to be a hard act to follow.
Yeah. So, you're advertising or will be advertising, I take it,
Yes, we are.
one or another?
We are.
Will she do interviews of the applicant?
I'm not sure. I may torture her that way. I may. Haven't decided.
All right, any other staff comments? All right, we'll adjourn